Welcome to Know Yourself. This is Matteo Galatas. In this episode, I'd like to offer an expanded understanding of thoughts. We're going to look at what are thoughts and how they're created. I'm not going to offer a scientific point of view, but more of an observational point of view and based on my understanding of human behavior and the work that I've done with clients and on myself as well. I would like to suggest that thoughts come from 9 different places. And I'd like to distinguish that we have current thoughts, past thoughts, and collective thoughts that influence us. So a lot of times you might think that you're having a thought, but it might come from a very different place. Maybe it comes from your past, maybe it comes from your family, maybe it comes from the people around you, maybe someone's sending you a thought. Maybe this thought is coming from the collective, or maybe it's coming from thoughts you're actually having. We have around 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. We're aware of this. We've measured it. However, where do these thoughts come from? Which one is mine? Which one is not mine? What thoughts are valuable and what thoughts are not valuable? These are valuable questions to explore and engage with and understand. Let's have a look at thoughts in the categories that I'd like to explore them with you. If you have a look at current thoughts, you have your own thoughts. These are the current moment, the current affairs that are happening for you right now. Perhaps your to-do list. Maybe you're thinking about what happened yesterday, what food to eat today, what you had yesterday for food, who you're going to speak to, what conversations you have, maybe the thoughts about tomorrow. These are current thoughts that you have. In addition, you have your own thoughts as a feedback mechanism. This we covered in the last lesson, and I suggested that your thoughts, a part of your thoughts, the thinking that you have, might be because they're giving you feedback. So it's important to understand what thoughts are random current thoughts and what thoughts are actually giving you feedback to guide your life. There is a distinction. You can also have current thoughts from your environment. These are the people we associate with. They have a certain level of thinking. They have a certain level of influence. They have a certain level of perceiving the world, understanding the world, how they act upon the world. Being around certain people influences and affects us. You may have noticed that you walk into a room of people that have a certain vibe and you kind of start to relate to that vibe and connect to that vibe, and that influences you. And maybe it brings you down, maybe it brings you up. We know that the thoughts or the emotions or the being of certain people affects us. This includes being around our family, being around our friends, our teachers, our colleagues, and so on. The people we associate with influence us. And through the process of neural resonance, we're able to receive and send thoughts to them. So we influence them and they influence us. Those are the 4 categories of current thoughts. Our own thoughts in our everyday, our own thoughts as a feedback mechanism, telling us when we're true or in direction with our life, thoughts coming from our environment, and other people sending thoughts to you. Let's have a look at past thoughts. I'll cover this in a lot more detail when we go into beliefs. However, for now, let's look at the categories that live inside our past thoughts. You have your own past thoughts. These are very likely your beliefs or the thoughts and associations that you made in your past, very likely in the first 7 to 14 years of your life. These are stored in your subconscious mind, and these are personal to you. These are your own personal past thoughts that live inside you as beliefs and perceptions about life and about how life works and how other people work. Now, how these influence you is that whenever there's a trigger on the outside, the memory is living inside of you. And that memory inside of you is saying, if there's relevant information on the outside where we need this memory, we need to upload the information and create a certain response or a certain behavior. So your past thoughts serve you as a kind of a program. You also have your family's past thoughts. Those live inside of you as well. Thoughts that are stored inside your family system that go back many, many generations live inside of you. You also have society's past thoughts. These are belief systems of society that we take on and we believe is true that may or may not be true, but we take on those beliefs. the belief systems and past thoughts affect us currently as well, and we might receive information relative to those past belief systems. The next category is our collective thoughts, and we have both current collective thoughts and past collective thoughts. Now this I like to call the human internet, and I'd like to explain this by means of an analogy. Let's go back a long time ago and imagine yourself as one human being all alone, and you start having thoughts. You're looking at your environment. Before you have the first thought about life, about how life works, you're looking at your environment, and what do you see? You see earth, you see trees and plants, perhaps you see some animals, some water. This is what you see. And you start to make associations about what you see. This bird flew there, this animal went over here to there, that animal is dangerous, that animal is not dangerous. And you start to create various associations about what you see. Some of that information gets stored in your own memory bank, in your own subconscious mind. And then when you go see a lion, for example, you have a program reminding you that this animal's dangerous. And then you see a little bunny and you have a program reminding you that this is something to hug and cuddle and play with. And you also have memory of certain plants. Certain plants you ate and you didn't feel well, and other plants you ate and you felt better. So as we explore and experience the world, we start to create associations and memories about our experiences. Now, we store that in our personal internet. But I believe there's also a human internet, because as you're having those experiences, you start to send that information out to this massive memory bank. And then you pass on, and the next human being starts to have the same experiences or similar experiences with plants and animals, and they upload their information to the human memory bank as well. As a collective, we have various information, various experiences, and all that information is stored somewhere. So it's not personal to you in your personal subconscious mind, but it's stored in the subconscious mind of the planet, of the collective. And we're able to access this information. And we're able to access various parts of the information that is stored. So we know this by experiments that have been done with the rhesus monkeys and the identification of what is known as a morphogenic field. So this morphogenic field carries information, and this information is available and accessible for all of us. Some of the thoughts you're having right now very likely could be coming from this human internet, from the collective thought bank that we've all uploaded to from the beginning of the time we started having thoughts. And you keep uploading to this human memory bank, and you're also downloading from this human memory bank. So there's a constant sending and receiving of thoughts to each other, to our surroundings, to other people, to and from your friends, family, colleagues, etc., and to the human collective. Now, I have a question for you. If you were to go into this memory bank, what information would you be looking for? What kind of thoughts would you be looking for? What quality of thoughts would you be looking for? Would you be looking for thoughts that are empowering, thoughts that build you up, thoughts that support you to live the life that's most true for you? Or would you be looking for thoughts that are disempowering, that break you down? If it's true that we have our own subconscious mind, and if it's true that the human collective has a subconscious mind, a planetary subconscious mind that we're all constantly uploading to, and if it's true that our own negative belief systems and sabotaging belief systems hold us back from living our potential, just imagine what belief systems we've uploaded or information that we've uploaded into the human collective that holds us back as a collective. So this is an invitation to you to start to have a consideration if it could be true that we're uploading information to some kind of a collective memory bank, what information would you want to upload? What quality of thoughts would you want to upload? Because you're uploading information into the collective and sending some kind of information and resonance out into your environment. And some of it might be empowering, some of it might be inspiring, some of it may be purposeful, but some of it might be draining and dragging down the rest of the environment and other people. And for us to be empowered as a collective, it's very likely time to come together and start to empower one another and inspire to have empowering thoughts that will support all of us to grow and expand collectively. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I really appreciate you taking the time. I'd be grateful if you can take a moment and write a review of this podcast and share the greatest value that you're getting out of it so far. To find out more about my work, please go through to matheogalatis.com. You can get all the information over there, and feel free to get in touch with me on any of the social media channels at Matheogalatis. And join me for the next episode where we'll be discussing the feedback mechanisms coming from your environment. We take it away from your personal feedback mechanisms of your physical body, your emotions, and your thoughts, and we look at how your environment starts to give you feedback. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. I really appreciate you taking the time. If you did get some value out of it, please like and subscribe. And share it to some of your friends. They might find it valuable. I'm on a mission to help people connect to themselves, and that's exactly what we need to do. We're lacking connection in life, connection to ourselves, connection to others, and we need a lot more of it. We need a lot more people connected to themselves, connected to their inner truth, and connected to their inner guidance system. So click on the next video, enjoy it, and please let me know in the comments, how did you find it? How did it work for you? How can I help you further?